I love that. Perfect. No problem. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so wonderful to see you all. We are going to begin our service this evening with a nigun to get us into the Shabbat spirit. So before we do that, if we want to just plant our feet on the floor, if you're at home, if you are on a couch, make sure that your feet are still on the floor. Thank you. And we'll take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da da da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da da da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da, yada da da da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da da da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da da da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da da da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. We welcome Shabbat with the lighting of Shabbat candles. It's my pleasure to invite Susan Schwartz to light the Shabbat candles for us.
We are holiness. We are blessed. We are filled and sustained by gifts imparted and framed. On Shabbat, we rest with intention. We breathe in the divine spirit and release the tumult of the week gone by. We take a few moments to simply be present. We rediscover our connection to our Creator. In that quiet moment of truth so profound, alone with our source, we see our own reflections and find that we have also found ourselves. That's by Suzanne Sabransky. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We continue welcoming Shabbat with some words of Psalm on page 131, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai shir chadash, Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai shir chadash, shir chadash. We are on page 138 for the words of Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Yishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litzechila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekavela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu ben Elcha, Ki mekor haberacha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekavela. Please rise in the ways you're able. Boi v'shalom ateret balav, gam besimcha Tochem unei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, lichat kala, pene Shabbat, nekavela, lecha dodi, lichat kala, pene Shabbat, nekavela. We are on page 146 for the words of Baruch Hu. Please remain standing. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai. Please be seated. On page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, and transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Arabim. Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We turn to page 159. It is my pleasure to invite Jack Samaski to share our reading with us.
Sing the song of men and women joined in the understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of the land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Amen. And we sing the words of Mi Chamocha. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot of Sefer, Nora tehilot of Sefer, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, se'elianu ve'amru, se'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai. Page 161. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. You continue with our tefillah on page 164. Please rise in the ways that you are able. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofei cholim, U'matzir asurim, U'mekayim emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, U'mido melach, Melech meimit u'mechayeh, U'matzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please take a moment for your own personal prayer and feel free to be seated when your prayer is complete. In a moment, we will continue with a Torah service, which can be found on page 362. It's my pleasure to invite up Alan Eisenbrock, who will be our Torah helper this evening. And I invite everyone to please rise. shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, haolam omed, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, haolam omed. Please be seated. This evening, we are going to be reading from Parshat Vayeshev, which the verses of which will be Genesis chapter 37, starting at verse 9. And it's my pleasure to invite Jonathan King to be our aliyah. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan banu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayachalom od chalom acher, v'saper oto le'achav, vayomer. Hine chalamti chalom od, v'hine hashemesh v'yareach, ve'achad asar kochavim mishtachavim li. Vayisaper el aviv ve'el echav, vayigar bo aviv, vayomer lo ma hachalom hazeh asher chalamta havo navo. Ani ve'imcha ve'achecha lehishtachavot lach artza. Vayikan uvo achav, V'aviv shamar et hadavar.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et torato.
Asher natan lanu Torat emet.
V'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you. With the Torah in our midst, we think of those who are in need of healing at this time. If you have somebody on your heart who is in need of healing, if you're joining us virtually, please feel free to type their name in the chat or to hold their name in your heart. And if you're in person with us this evening, please feel free to share their name aloud or in your heart as my hand passes over your section.
Lori Brooks, Danny Radcliffe, and David Harris.
Marvin Bowerman.
Michael Belovich and Naomi Ayala. Maureen Backer.
Cheryl Smith, Adrian Brown, Greg Spiegel, and Bruce Baldwin.
We'll pause a moment in case anyone's still typing. For those whose names we've said aloud, those we've typed in the chat, and those that we keep in our hearts, we turn to page 371 for the words of Misha Berach. We begin the process of returning the Torah to the Ark. I invite back Alan Eisenbruck, and I invite everyone else to please rise. We are on page 374. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva. Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu. Chadesh Yameinu kekedem. Please be seated. This week, I found myself watching the Netflix special about Meghan and Harry's take on their step away from the royal family. while there have been debates about the content of their story, how quality of a documentary is it? Is it just their take? What's going on here? There was a moment of truth that stuck out to me, having just read this week's Torah portion. In one of the episodes, Megan mentioned that during all of her official appearances with Harry and his family, she only wore muted colors, beiges, whites, tans. Officially, she couldn't wear colors that matched the senior members of the family, so there was some strategy to this. But beyond this, she shared that she was deeply concerned about blending into the background, not sticking out, doing what she could not to bring too much attention, which was often spun into negative attention to herself or to the family. Of course, you might be thinking to yourself, well, this Shabbat, we are reading about Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, so Rabbi must be thinking about colorful clothes today. Yes and no. Yes and no. This week, as we read from Parashat Vayeshev, where we read about Joseph's status as his father Jacob's most beloved son, we do read about the Technicolor Dreamcoat, or more accurately translated as an ornamented tunic. Doesn't fit into the song quite as well. We read about his dreams and his family's response to his dreams. Just moments ago, the words I read in Hebrew translated as follows. Joseph dreamed another dream, and he told it to his brothers, saying, "Look, I've had another dream, and this time the sun, the moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me." And when he told it to his father and his brothers, his father berated him. "What?" he said to him. "Is this dream you have dreamed? Are we to come, I and your mother and your brothers, and bow low to you, to the ground?" So his brothers were resentful of him, and his father kept the matter in mind. It's easy to understand where the brothers come from when they are angry at Joseph, and when they feel jealous or left out, or like he is a little too big for his britches. And it's also easy to suggest that Jacob was not exactly setting Joseph up for a successful relationship with his brothers when he made a special garment only for Joseph and not his brothers. But when we take a step back, we also have to acknowledge that this family system was not so pleasant for Joseph either. We know from later on in the story that Joseph wants to have a relationship with his brothers, and yet when he reaches out and shares something that he experienced, something that came naturally to him, he is met with disdain. What? You think you're better than us? Much of the time that I have read this story, I wondered to myself, why did Joseph say those things to his brothers? Why did he say things that could have made them so angry or resentful of him? Yet when I reminded myself of the wider context, this is not the story of Joseph, some mediocre, untalented person who spread his ego all over the place for the fun of it. Joseph, a boy who was blessed with dreams, shared some bizarre ones with his family. And our first thought is to blame him for their response. How many of us have found ourselves in this very position, where we find that sharing of ourselves, expressing ourselves, talking about a talent or a skill or experience that we have, pushes others away, bringing disdain or negative attention towards us? Sharing ourselves or our mere presence seems in itself offensive to others. So we begin to walk on eggshells. We begin asking ourselves, am I being too loud, too colorful, too out there? Should I say this? Should I have shared this? Oh gosh, what will they think of me now? These types of questions are meant to protect, to make ourselves seem more palatable to the others around us. Yet when we ask these questions, we may actually be asking, how much of myself can I share with the world? Dr. Brené Brown writes in her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, that there is a big difference between fitting in and belonging. She writes, fitting in is about assessing a situation and becoming who you need to be accepted. Belonging, on the other hand, doesn't require us to change who we are. It requires us to be who we are. Relationships and group dynamics are often difficult to navigate. The challenges that we have are often under the surface about things going on in another person's life or about the moment in society or in the community that have absolutely nothing to do with us. We just represent that for others. As much as we would like to just point to Joseph and say that him sharing those dreams was the real problem, let us acknowledge in our hearts that it's not entirely true. As we find ourselves wondering, if Joseph hadn't said X, Joseph chose to unapologetically share the dream that came to him. He didn't choose to have that dream. Our story would have been very different if he decided to make himself small, to not share the dreams that came to him, to not share this talent that had been given to him, a piece of who he was. Perhaps his family wouldn't have made it through the famine that we'll read about in the next few chapters. Joseph's story is an honest picture of what it looks like to refuse to dim our lights for others. Though we read of the blessing and benefits that eventually will come his way, we also read about the consequences. We need to acknowledge that it brought him into harm's way. Not everyone can make the choice to be their loudest, brightest self at each moment. As we circle back to Meghan Markle's apparel choices, in a world where it was unheard of for a mixed-raced American woman to join the royal family, Meghan Markle represented something new to Great Britain and to the world. To those who saw the world as one needing to embrace diversity, her mere presence was a symbol that even the monarchy was embracing the way the world should be. Reflecting on the population that the Commonwealth and even the population of Britain. To those who were critical of the changes taking place in Britain's society, she became a symbol of external influences impurifying what was held so dear. In response to both populations, it's no wonder that Meghan felt pressure to do what she could to avoid negative attention. This did not mean that she silenced herself completely, but she noted that she had to become more strategic in the way she responded to the world. In an ideal world, we should not have to think about being too loud, too colorful, too much. We shouldn't have to worry about dimming our light for the sake of others. Yet we know that this is not always the world that we live in. This Shabbat, and as we approach Hanukkah, let us celebrate when we are able to shine our light into the world, regardless of how bright we are able to let it shine. Let us find bravery to shine even just a bit brighter. And let us fight for a world where anyone can shine their brightest, be their most technicolor, and belong as who they are. Kain Yehirat Zon. May this be God's will. We continue on page 586 for the words of Aleinu. Please rise in the ways you are able. Alinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor alinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushemo echad. Please be seated. This evening, we remember those who are no longer with us on this earth, but remain with us in our memories of them and in the ways that they influence the way that we walk this earth. As your loved one's name is read, please rise. This Shabbat, we are in the period of Shloshim, the 30-day period since burial of Richard Brzezinski, husband of Jackie Baisley and brother of Hannah Brzezinski. And this Shabbat, we remember the yard sites of the following people: Bud Amaro, husband of Susan Amaro; Rachel Malka, sister of Suzanne Corbett; Lola Masliak, mother of Abe Masliak; Percy Salcedo Jr., husband of Deborah Salcedo. We now invite all who are observing their first year of mourning to rise at this time. And we now rise as a community with our mourners and turn to page 598 for the words of Mourners Kaddish. Yitz gadal v'yitz kadash shemei rabba, ve'alma divrach yirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, va'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach le'olam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. It is now time for some words of announcement. And it's my pleasure to invite Susan Schwartz to share those words of announcement. She came all the way from Southern California just for this moment.
Join us for Torah study this Sunday, December 18th at 11 a.m. on Zoom. Hanukkah Palooza is this Sunday. Put on your dancing shoes for our final 60th anniversary celebration event featuring the San Francisco Yiddish Combo Klezmer Band. This is an event for all ages, starting at 3 o'clock p.m. on December 18th, with dancing, of course, Hanukkah projects and activities, latkes, jelly donuts, menorah lighting, and a Hanukkah sing-along with Rabbi Zoe. Visit the 60th anniversary page on the website to RSVP and for details about pricing, sponsorship, and opportunities. The gift shop will be open for pickups on December 18th starting at 2:30 p.m. and will be open for in-person shopping after the klezmer performance. You can find the WTBT online gift shop for pre-orders on our website. We'll be supporting Fremont's new Clean Start program by collecting new, tags still on, adult-sized sweatshirts, sweatpants, or sets of sweats to donate to the unhoused. Bring your donation to Hanukkah Palooza or donate cash anytime via our social action page. Last chance to help fulfill the Hanukkah and holiday wishes of families and older adults who would otherwise go without gifts. Our participation in Jewish Family Services of Silicon Valley's Embrace a Family program ends this Tuesday, December 20th. Check the poster at the back of the social hall or our social action page on the website for all the details. Once again, we'll be hosting a Hanukkah pop-up with Wise Sons Deli. It's scheduled for Friday, December 23rd from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Orders must be received by 9 a.m. on Wednesday, December 21st. Details on how to order are available on the website and will be in the weekly email. Join us next week, December 23rd, for a special Hanukkah Shabbat service at 7 p.m., noting the earlier start time. Feel free to bring your menorah. On Sunday, December 25th, we'll gather at TBT starting at 2 p.m. for a movie and Chinese food. This year will be extra fun because it's interactive. Not only will we be noshing while watching the movie, but we'll also be singing along to the award-winning 1971 classic film, Fiddler on the Roof. Cost is $15 for those ages 11 and up, and $10 for those under 11. Chinese food, drinks, and other snacks will be provided. See the website or weekly to RSVP by Thursday, December 22nd. Thank you to Cindy Monroe for running AV, audio video, and to Susan Amaro and Sean Rahman for representing the worship committee tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And thank you to Susan for sharing those words of announcement. If you have not yet made your last day of Hanukkah plans, I hope that you will be here for that movie evening. We're finally able to have it again, so I hope that you will be here. There will be yummy food, and you can bring your menorah and light for the last night of Hanukkah. The one other thing for our friends on Zoom, just as a reminder, so we are not doing the prayer slides the way that we had been last year. So if you're looking for a Hanukkah present that you're hoping to get for yourself, you may consider buying a Mishkan Tefillah, so you can pray with us at home and have the words in front of you. So if you would like help figuring out how to do that, please feel free to be in touch with me, and we can make sure that you have the words in front of you. We are going to continue with words of blessing. We will start with blessings for family, however we define it. If you are in the room with somebody who you consider to be family, I encourage you to reach out. And if you are not in the room with somebody who you wish was in the room with you, I encourage you to close your eyes and to hold them in your heart, and we hope that they receive this blessing. May God bless you and keep you. May God shine God's face upon you and be gracious to you. May God's face turn to you and grant you peace, to which we say, Amen. Amen. And now for Kiddush and Motzi. Kiddush can be found on page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'atzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim. And a quick motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. We conclude our service this evening with the words Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. May there be peace. May peace come to us if I can ever find my guitar pick. There we go. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.